Okay, in today's class, let's understand regarding the structure of atom, the important points of the structure of atom for KCET, and that will be from the quantum numbers. When we have observed the previous year question papers, we come to know that many questions have come from the concept of quantum numbers from this chapter of atomic structure. Quantum numbers are 4 in number, that is principal quantum number, then azimuthal quantum number. I am using all short forms, and magnetic quantum number, and spin quantum number. Now, what does this principal quantum number indicates? It indicates the number of the shell from the nucleus. Number of shell from the nucleus. Sorry. Okay, and it is denoted by the alphabet, small alphabet n. So the number of shell means, say supposing this is our atom, and these are our shells. This is n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, that means we are numbering from the nucleus. So the orbits closer to the nucleus are having lesser number, and the orbits farther away from the nucleus will have higher numbers. So principal quantum number indicates the number of the shell from the nucleus in which the electron of our consideration is present, is belonging to. Then azimuthal quantum number is denoted by the alphabet L. It's having different names as subsidiary quantum number, orbital quantum number, so on, and subsidiary quantum number, orbital quantum number, so on and so forth are the different names that have been given for this azimuthal quantum number, and it indicates the subshell into which the electron of our consideration is present. It tells us about the subshell in which the electron of our consideration is present. Say for example, the first shell is divided into only one subshell, that is S subshell, and the second shell is divided into two subshells as S subshell and P subshell. So likewise the third shell is SP and D, and the fourth shell is SP, D and F. And how do we distinguish this? So here we write the first shell S subshell and second shell, so 2S and then 2P. So likewise 3S and 3P. That's how we go on writing with the even the electronic configuration also. So what is the important fact? The azimuthal quantum number is denoting as the subshell into which the electron of our consideration is belonging. Next, there are specific values for L. Once you come to know which subshell, then automatically it is also going to give us one more information. And what is that information? It will tell us about the shape of the orbital as well, because every subshell is having certain set of orbitals which are having specific shape. So S subshell means spherical shape, P means dumbbell shape, D means double dumbbell shape, and then F means complex geometrical shape. It's not having one particular geometry. It's having different geometrical shapes, so therefore we just tell it as complex geometrical in shape. So now there are specific values for L. If L is equal to 0, it indicates S subshell, in turn it indicates S orbital, in turn it indicates spherical shape of the orbital. Similarly, if L value is equal to 1, it indicates P subshell, We are talking about orbitals of p, and we are talking about its shape as dumbbell shape. Then if L is having a value as 2, it indicates d sub shell. In turn, the orbitals of d, and it is having double dumbbell shape. Then if L is equal to 3, it indicates F sub shell, and in turn the orbitals of F, and which is having complex geometrical shape. So if you come to know the value of L, then you can understand about the orbital and the shape of the orbital. So two things have been revealed by this. And one more important point to remember here is that value of L is dependent on value of N. Value of L is dependent on value of L. I'll tell you more about it as we proceed further. Then the third one, which is magnetic quantum number, denoted by the small alphabet m. It gives us the information about the orientation of the orbitals in the magnetic field. So that is how we write it as, say for example, the three orbitals of p is been written as px, py and pz, because these are the orientations that they are showing when it is subjected in a magnetic field. And value of m is dependent on value of L. Value of m is dependent on value of L. Then finally the spin quantum number, which is indicated by S. It tells us about the direction of spinning of the electron in an orbital. Direction of spinning of electron in an orbital. So it will always have two values as plus half and minus half. Plus half means it indicates about the clockwise spinning of the electron in that particular orbital. Minus half indicates anti-clockwise spinning of the electron in that orbital. Anti-clockwise spinning of the electron in that orbital. And as you know that orbital can contain a maximum of only 2 electrons. So every orbital can have only these two values, wherein plus half is talking about clockwise spinning of the electron and minus half is talking about anti-clockwise spinning of electron. So for every one value of m, there will be two values of s. Now I'll write a table to make this concept perfect to you. Then later on we are going to take up the exercises on this so that this concept becomes clear. Okay. So now let us say we are given with the value of n as n is equal to 3. Now we need to find out the remaining values of the quantum numbers when the value of n is equal to 3. So let me just write the column to write all the 4 quantum numbers. Anyway, in the CET exam, you will not be asked to write the different values, but then once you are thorough with this concept, you can arrive at the answer directly. So this is value of n, value of L, value of m, that is magnetic quantum number, then value of S, that is spin quantum number. Okay, now n is equal to 3. So what will be the values of L? There will be 3 values for L. And what are these values of L going to be? Always it should start from 0, 1, 2. You need to give 3 values because there are n is equal to 3. So you should write 3 values of L. Say supposing n is equal to 4, then 0, 1, 2, 3. All the values you will be writing. So now for every one value of L, there will be values given for m. Let us see what it is. If L is equal to 0, these are the standard things I would like to draw your attention to. If L is equal to 0, M will also be equal to 0. If L is equal to 1, M will be equal to -1, 0, +1. So the orientation will start 1 unit before the 0, then to the origin point and 1 unit to the right. So how much ever is the value of L, so many negative values, then come to 0, then come to so many positive values. Then what does this indicate? Each indicates an orbital. And what does L is equal to 1 indicating to you? P. You know that P orbital are 3 in number. P orbitals are 3 in number. What are these 3? Px, Py, Pz. So that's what is each value indicating to you. Then if L is equal to 2, I'll write it here. If L is equal to 2, so what are the values of M going to be? -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. So how many values of M are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is L is equal to 2 indicating to you? D. How many orbitals of D are there? 5. So that matches. So this is how the value of M to be written based on the value of L. So if L is equal to 3, what will be the values of M then? Correct. -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2, +3. So how many values you got? 7 values. So what does L is equal to 3 indicating to us? Orbitals of F. So orbitals of F are 7 in number. So that is how it is matching. So each orientation in the magnetic field means we are talking about an orbital which is represented. So this being the standard, now let's put that values here. What will be the value of M when L is equal to 0? 0. What will be the value of M when L is equal to 1? Yes, -1, 0, +1. Then for -2, for 2 it will be -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. So for each value of M, there will be 2 values of S. So what are those 2 values? You know this, +12 and -12. So for each value there will be +12 and -12. For this +12, -12, for this +12, -12, for this +12, -12. So like that, how many then? 6 values we are going to write for that. Then here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10. So each half is indicating an electron. +12 is indicating you what? Clockwise direction of spinning of electron, correct. And what is minus of indicating? Anti-clockwise spinning of the electron in an orbital. Because each value is indicating an orbital. And each orbital can hold a maximum of 2 electrons. So each value will be +12 and -12. So if you add all of those electrons, children, now tell me how many electrons you'll be getting in the end. 10 from here, 6 from here, 16, then 2 from here. So totally 18 electrons. So grand total number of electrons will be 18 electrons. So now n is equal to 3. Let us check if it can hold a maximum of 18 electrons. So what is the formula that we can use to determine the number of electrons in any particular shell? 2n square. 2n square. So what is the value of n here? 2 into 3 square. So 9 into 2. So that's going to be 18. So that matches. That means what you have written is correct. So these are the important fundamental points that we should know before we start with analyzing the questions on this particular concept of quantum numbers. To summarize, what is a quantum number? It tells about the address of an electron in an atom in a multi-electron system. Okay, in the next episode, let's take up the questions which have come on this particular concept.